Good morning, everyone. How are we all? I'm still drinking coffee, but you can watch my trips while I drink coffee. Hope we're all okay and having an exciting Monday morning. It's weird. Mondays don't mean anything to me because I spent most of yesterday working as well. But hey, I've got quite a bit of next week off because it's my birthday, so make hay while the sun shines. I also have 5 bones, but I was just gonna... Yeah, 50 bones. I wasn't going to bother buying skips. I like these games, I do. It's something I was actually thinking about. I'd like to describe the harder difficulties in FortressCraft as an idle game. But unfortunately, idle games have a bit of a bad rep, really. So a better name for them would be efficiency games. So if you've ever actually played an idle game, you'll know that there ain't much about being idle. Like, you can be idle, but you have to be generally super duper efficient. So if you've played something like Realm Grinder, that's unbelievably complicated. I mean, a mind-bogglingly complicated game, all hidden behind a facade of you just have to click on something every so often and wait. This one looks very, very much like a visual reskin of Crank. Very, very, very much Crank. But as I said, it'd be nice if I could call FortressCraft an idle game. Let's call it a long-term efficiency game. Let's call it that because it sounds... Idle just sounds... It's just a bit derogatory. So let's call it a long-term clicking game because I am continually implementing things to make the game go faster. But my favourite thing about FortressCraft is logging onto a high difficulty long-term server. And I don't think I'm streaming. I think I have to start everything I said again. I can't see my stream. Anyway, log onto a long-term server and see how it's done overnight. Because you see, then the issue comes down to, it's not how quick can you be, but how efficient is your setup. Because when you've got you play the game for a bit and then in another 23 and a half hours you check the game again. If you haven't set everything else up correctly, you're not going to be doing very well. Whereas in the difficulties we've got, there's no real punishment for making mistakes. Like, oh no, you've built it totally wrong. Oh well, you've lost 20 minutes. And that's something that does sadden me a little bit. It's because I really enjoy the long-term approach to FortressCraft. That's the way I prefer to play it. Like, absolutely long-term game. Log on, check it, log off again. And it's weird that I'm desperately trying to cater for both. Really. And something I'm going to try and do in my playthrough, something I've noticed, is people get very bad. I don't know how to describe it. It's not that they lose motivation. That's not the right description. It's how to phrase it. They build one smelter and then they just kind of go, oh, okay, I'm done on that. When they could build 50 smelters. You have the resources for 50 smelters. Like, people don't continually upgrade. And I wonder if the game could do a better job of detecting upgrades. So what's the word? The rooms, if they are embraced by people, which I kind of hope they will actually improve the game in a very interesting and subtle way. And this is something that I hoped would be true, and Mega Power volunteered saying it. You'll get distracted making your rooms, and that's cool. So what will happen is you'll be playing the game, you set your copper in your tin, and hopefully you sent up plenty of storage, and you'll go off, and you will, oh my guys are so fucked. You'll go off, and you'll set your room, and it takes, let's say, an hour to set up your room, for the sake of argument, an hour, however long, doesn't matter. So at that point, your resources are all working still. So I'm hoping that this distracts the player. I mean, Astroneers is a similar sort of thing. So in Astroneers, what happens is you start some research off and then you just go and explore. Now, Astroneers, it's very good at exploring. The feeling of moving around on the surface is actually pretty spot on. Like really, 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 really rather good. Wow, my guy, this guy's doing 30,000 damage. We have 20,000 health. How do I add health? Yeah, it's 25. So I'm not around tomorrow because I have got a... what's the word? Garage appointment. And the reason I'm playing Trips right now is I'm explaining to you what I was trying to say. It's something that I like to be able to have these videos up here so I can just link people going, well, look, I've said this in a video. So what I'm doing here is I'm logging onto my Trimp game. Not that. I'm running my Trimp game, seeing what needs to be done, having a bit of a think, and then that's it. I'll come back in a day or a week and just see how it is. Oh, the Astroneer Storms, they're cool to start with and they rapidly stop being cool. So he's doing 30,000 damage. But yeah, sure. A part of it is if I'll say normal people. Well, everybody do rooms. Well, because I've seen people are going, "Oh, I'm not gonna build rooms." Like seriously, dude, you like you haven't even got the patch isn't even out, and you're like, "Nope, not doing that." Well, wow, this guy is kicking my ass here. But yeah, if people decide to use rooms, that will take up loads of time, and that's really good. Like, definitely, that's a good thing. If they decide to shun it, there ain't much I'm going to be able to do. I like it. I think it's cool. I mean, if nothing else, I'm hoping people are kind of forced into building a med bay. And hopefully they're like, oh, it's nice in here. Right. Self-craft room blocks. I made a note last night. And P16 dropship. So, for those of you who are in channel, were you on Discord yesterday? Were you watching what was going on? Oh, that's interesting. No. If end segment dot distance to player. No, can't really. What happened? Yeah, so so those of you who are privy for the discussion about more or less whether or not to release it, you'll understand the issues and what I was thinking. I am also a little concerned about performance. Now, if you've got a good GPU, you don't care. Good GPUs will bulldoze this stuff. And when I say good GPU, no offense, guys, but I do not mean people with 960 class cards out there, alright? Like me. I will allow people to turn the clouds on. I may default them for a while. But I did do some work to the normal stuff. Okay, manufacturing. Yeah, a 1060 is probably alright. But my point is, this is a technique for high-end cards. But the problem is that people run it on low income going, oh, it runs like shit. Because that's what people are like. It's really funny when you see people going, oh, my computer should be able to handle it. Like, it should be able to handle it. Right. What's it called? Autocraft? Self-craft? Craft Anywhere, that's the one. Right. Output dispenser, no. Crafter, no. Medbay, no. Base scanner. No. Rooms, yes. Yeah. Oh, rooms, lights even, not rooms. So we have also got we also have a small feature lined up for patch 19's Dapper. Now, those no. Spider-Bot Power Core, Alloyed Machine Block, yep. So if something is marked as Craft Anywhere, will automatically craft once you've not sure about the logistics from it though. I might leave those not, because I've only really put the aesthetics into insta-build. All the other things I've put into you need to go and do some work type things. I mean, they're only 10 and copper. They're only cheap. Generic room control. Oh yes, I want to do a little bit of work on that one. Can craft anywhere? No. Airlock? No. Yeah, it's... Who was complaining about these? It's 9 gears for 9. It's 9 iron and a bunch of tin, but not much. Now that does mean that all room stuff is disabled until iron, which is probably okay. I don't. We'll see. Like, until you've got your tin and your copper automated, there ain't much you can do anyway. Well, there are plenty of Excel editors out there. I just... dude, I've worked on some really, really, really big XML systems, and guess what? We all use Notepad or Notepad++. We've tried so many expensive XML editors, and they just... You don't gain anything in the end. You might as well just have used Notepad. Yeah, like virtually every game I've ever worked on, every commercial game has used XML for data files. Like, almost without exception. I can't think of one that didn't specifically. Like Burnout used an XML, a data XML format for its track files, the string track files. But it was a binary XML format, not the text one we've got. Ah, yes, thank you, Sean. I didn't make a note of that one. Hive entity. BTCPH dot magnitude. See, I had an idea. If you've got a world with hive mind spirals, keep it safe. It's going away. Oh, and hello, David. Sorry, I didn't see you say hello. Hello. Yeah, Quahaka, I would say good GPU. I mean, a good GPU. Like, I wouldn't call a Fiat 500 a good car. I call it a reasonable car. But that's the thing, right? I'm talking about, I would recommend for March Clouds that you should have a top-of-the-line CPU from 3 years ago or better. If you didn't see the Hive Mind spirals, you have missed a milestone in FortressCraft gaming history. So what do we think of the skies? So I spent some time wandering around last night. I'm on good quality, so I only really worry about good quality. Oh, that looks cool. I am not going along there, and that is interesting. Oh, there we go. Why is the grass not cleaned up? Because, well, first of all, they do look kind of silly. Also, I had no idea. I kind of want to go down here. But I'm not actually any safer. I love the feel of these resin caves, by the way. I absolutely love the just the adrenaline that goes. Why is that only clearing up? The segment won't be paged in till I come within range. It's nothing to do with me being this close. It's everything to do with me. Okay, I take back what I was about to say. That is possibly dumb. I'm still trying to balance off performance and responsivity. But does the clouds look all right? Are we happy with these clouds? Because I've been seeing screenshots recently, and to be quite frank, the clouds have just, I hate them. I just hate them so much. So here are the clouds during the day. Where's the sun? The sun's going down. Then it's down. Now I've just spun time forward, so the sky will be a bit lagged. It'll take a bit more time to get dark than it would normally. See, it's getting dark slowly. Where's the Nova? Yeah. So this is now nighttime. Let's go to a different colour ground. Sometimes you get stars, sometimes you don't. Yeah, I think the sky... Excellent, let's be fair. The sky doesn't look better, it looks less shit. So here's nighttime red sky. And then whoosh, time forwards. Whoosh. Clickety pop. So as I was saying, lighting is very complicated. It snows there. There. In your face. But yeah, when I whisk time forwards by pressing the cheat button, it takes a long time for the sky to catch up, because the sky is the sky is smooth, very, very smooth. So I'm not unhappy with these. They're a bit boring. They're a bit simple. They do still move and morph. I will just try one thing quickly. What happens? I changed the I changed the render mode. The Hurling Clouds near. So that's that one. Yeah. So what happens? We've got these clouds, which are a very big sort of and then we've got the detail on top of that. So that's how it looks. That detail looks kind of flatter. However, they do tile inside each other, which is probably very silly. But yeah, I'm not unhappy with them. They're all right. And then I'm very, very happy with it. Or it was yesterday. I haven't seen them again today, so I might not like them today. Oh, I still like them. Oh, I still like those a lot. But my performance has just taken a definite hit. But I am running on I'm running on a 960. That's a budget 9 series card. Now, hopefully, it's probably off, but I don't know if you can see. You probably can't see. There's a gap, or just about. There's a gap over the. So I put that's a really high density. Now, did I break the gap? Figures. I think the gap is related to where I spawn. But yeah, the problem is that this is it's an extremely expensive technique. And I don't know, it's good, and it's near state of the art as well. Because Go Hardcore, that graphics mode is specifically not for everyone. I might spend some more work on it. I'm very happy with how they look. Where's the sun? Where's the sun? There's the sun. So yes, they get lit from beneath by the sun. But yes, Sean, I think we had that idea yesterday, and I think I already said I don't really know how that would look. And I don't mean in a picture, I mean actually look. Then in a moment the sun will go. But you see the clouds are actually lit by the sun underneath. And then the clouds go all but black as the nova begins to rise. See, we've got stars. See, we've got stars, constellations, the works. But yeah, so yesterday I was testing this, and ironically it ran better, but I wasn't streaming, you see. So I can run the clouds at a lower detail, so that's the clouds at a significantly lower detail. Frame rate's just jumped up by 15. I suspect what I will do is I will put them out, I will try and auto-balance their quality, and I will put them out in a beta, and then I reserve the right to go, maybe in another year's time. Simple? What do you think's simple about the clouds? Right, what's simple about that? I can tell you the answer to that question. Nothing. Nothing is simple about that. What are they? Are they polygons? They're not polygons. Can't be polygons. Cam holder, camera. See, that's Josh. You kind of hit the nail on the head, right? This is beyond, so far beyond a simple technique. This is an immensely complicated system for casting rays through cloud densities and seeing where it's working. And that's the problem. You're like, oh, it's just clouds. It's just simple. And that's the thing. It's not. So we currently, technically have better clouds than No Man's Sky right now, which just has Hurling Clouds. This is the next step. Like I said, there is a higher detail to go to, but as you can see, the frame rate suffers somewhat. Or we can go all the way to just blurry, nothing. But yeah, so make the clouds thicker, make the clouds thinner. Now, what I have got a good idea is at the beginning of the game. Now the alignment's just going to be so far off on this. Oh, where's it gone? Right. So I don't know why it keeps moving, but you just have to use your imagination. Okay. The CPH is under here. So at the beginning of the game, when you start the game looks like this. Solid cloud. When you finalise building the CPH, this happens. Give it a mo. I put the wrong number in. So when you finalise building the CPH, this happens. Wait for it. So you finalise building the CPH, for definite this time. And then this happens. Now I put the camera in the wrong place. right, I was changing that number, not this one. Okay, now I'm just confused. Have I broken the system? Is it nowhere near where I thought it was? I'm confused. I had it working yesterday. I had it working a minute ago, and I've just lost it. Don't say it. Ah, there it is. Okay, right, that's why I was looking in the wrong place. I won't move the camera. Okay, so at the beginning of the game, it'll look like this. And then as the CPH kicks off, as you start the CPH up, this will happen. And a hole will appear in the cloud cover above the CPH. You will then continue to move through, and then what will happen is the clouds will open up, and you will get rid of all. You can see it on the screen, roughly how it look. Over, say, an hour, all the clouds disappear. But not all the clouds disappear. Ooh. You'll notice there are still 4 clouds there. Hive mind, hive mind, hive mind, hive mind. So we will have clouds above the hive mind. And then as your threat increases, it will morph back to here. So the game, the guy, it won't just have weather, because quite frankly, weather's just rubbish. It's just weather, like, if you do that. It's just, it's something to run, but this will be gameplay-wise. So as your threat increases over many hours, it goes back to here, and I will darken the clouds. Now, I did have proper screen space clouds, but there is a bug. So I've posted on the forum going, why do the clouds shadow distance not like that, and why don't they obey fog? So that's my plan. That's my kind of my goal. But I very much doubt I will get it in this patch. I will probably enable it so people can go, oh my god, that's so slow. But we will see. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday on my day off. I do feel that I can, because I am going to get it in the neck when more people find out we're doing a FortressCraft 2. I am going to get it in the neck. Oh, I should have put this in the first game, but like I implemented this at a weekend. I don't know what the fuck I like at a weekend. So yeah. Right, where is my CPH? Yeah, the hole above the CPH is in the wrong place. I don't know why. I haven't worked out what the maths is behind it yet. Sean, I was actually going to have a brief look at that because I would like to set some visual targets for FortressCraft 2. So I might have a brief look at that. So, interestingly, the frame rate actually says it's okay, but it doesn't seem to be very consistent. There are better ray marching techniques in this one. This one is pretty freaking simple. This one's dumb. So there are some more advanced ray march techniques. And I contacted someone who's got one coming, going, is it done yet? This doesn't need to be done. Okay, so, black box data, local life forms, suit upgrading. Now, basic mining upgrades 1. I don't have enough research points. I just need some stuff to cheat me some research. Okay, so basic mining upgrades. What is rooms based on? Oh, it's automation. Lots of things is based off of the automation one. And then room building. I guess I can't do it in my head. I can't even type. 14. Okay, so just to check, Okay, room aesthetics is called rooms pretty. And that is just for lights. Pretty much just lights. All the items within this research require the Dapper DLC to use, as they are only cosmetic. And the ampules require rooms herb. Agriculture. Hydroponic space, herbivores, and ampule crafters for on the spot healing. Ampule. Just while I'm in this file, is there any item in the game that you don't know what it is? If that makes sense. Like your character doesn't know what it is. Because this one will require. Now this one you get immediately. Is there an always known? Is there a depth of the world? No. Rooms work at any depth. The problem is, Sean, that FortressCraft, believe it or not, actually has quite a powerful name. FortressCraft, as I've said, was the 7th biggest selling title on the Xbox 360. There are some people who can't stand FortressCraft and say, I'm sure, but there are some people who that's what they spent their teenage years doing. Come on. Oh, fuck you. Okay, so that's rooms herb for all of those except the first one, which is given at the beginning of the game. Wow. Holy shit, I've just been advertised some guy who can get animators on YouTube because I made this video and it got over 500,000 views, which got me over $1,000. You are a fucking liar. I've had videos more than 500,000 views. Like fuck do you get $1,000 for it? I think the biggest money I've made in a year was like $70. Anyway. Is it give player? No. Oh fuck, where is it? Right, let's go to now fuck off. Let's go to craft something, which should be about the right point. Case craft something. Complete tutorial. Actually, I gave it a proper name. Look at me. Add item. Okay, item base L item equals item manager dot spawn item. Yeah, yes, it's me. It's my baby. But yeah, I sure. See, I do understand. Oh, rename it. I've seen people said this before. People go, "Oh, you should rename it so you get rid of it." I'm like, well, first of all, people will work out it's me. I'm not, like, I suspect I'm not going to be able to hide. And secondly, the marketing clout of an existing name. Now, you are kind of correct that, in a sense, most people who are FortressCraft fans would recognise Frozen Factory. I mean, it certainly... I'm kind of tempted, instead of calling it FortressCraft 2, to call it FortressCraft Phoenix. Quite like that. Quite like that sort of feel. I've lost Discord. Where is it? There it is. Okay, spawn items at 2,700? 2,700. If difficulty settings dot death effect equals death effect dot none, noob. Okay. Oops, I'm still running the game. That I didn't want to do. Rework surface clouds plus atmosphere. Tweaked progression on some recipes. Recipes. How to remember how to spell recipes, guys? It's recipes. Well, no, because aesthetics is... Oh, I see. Yeah, the thing is, Sean. Well, Sean, I'll come back to that one in a moment. Let me finish writing these down. New players now start with 5 health ampules. Don't waste them. Did I do anything else then? Altered hive entity growth patterns. Okay, I'm gonna set up a test of mine, and then we will discuss that, because there's a bit of a problem with that, unfortunately. The thing about FortressCraft, I named it about 8 years ago, and changing the game to because of its name does seem a little bit of an odd thing, but anyway. Okay, I'm not sure this is the right world, you know. Let's assume it's the wrong world, and we will make it the newer world, because I can do that. Hive entity, low frequency update. Why is F3 not search again? Hey guys, so suddenly when I change this number, every hive mind in the world too close to the CPH is about to die. All of them, and all the rest are about to teleport to the surface. Plip bonk. That's an astounding button to press. Like, honestly, I don't know how many hive minds just died. 50 maybe? And that's now the closest one, so it ain't close anymore. So, Hockey, you have to understand, very rarely is my limiting factor on anything I do lack of ideas. My limiting factors are nearly always time, performance, or commercial viability. So very rare. Don't get me wrong. This is something I think a lot of people don't understand. So I appreciate your ideas, and occasionally, like yesterday, somebody comes up with a fucking brilliant idea and I run with it so quickly. But quite often, your idea's good, has merit, but it's not an idea I can use quickly, or it's a mediocre idea. You know, it's not a bad idea, it's not a great idea, but no one's going to go, holy shit, what an idea that is. Oh my god. Don't get me wrong, I like your idea. I can imagine it. So you've got like a feed loading system. You've got a big 3x3 physical turret on top of the door, the ceiling, and it's just awesome. And it's just loud, and it's just that'd be awesome. Totally. It's quite a lot of work there. But I like your idea. I'm just not going to do it. Not today, anyway. Okay. Central power hub. Closest hive. This might not work, by the way. Non-public members. Resources to it with 500, that's fine. Super grow. True. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to run a hive mind over about 8 hours. So it's about 8 hours a minute or something. Yeah, we're talking about a Big Bertha. I know. Sorry, not Big Bertha, Buzzsaw. Now this is actually probably a little bit far away. Where are we? We're only about half. So this is going to be using the new hive mind growth behavior, but the new hive mind growth behavior. Josh, having the clouds in the sky represent your threat. So at high threat, the world is overcast and gloomy and horrible. At low threat, or when the hive minds are destroyed. So we'll tie it into lore. You start and you land on an overcast planet. The first thing you do is you punch a hole through the permanent cloud layer. And that hole causes, and you continue to pump energy into that hole. And that causes all the clouds to disappear. So over the first, let's say, 3 hours of the game, all the clouds disappear. And that's what causes the the overminds to awaken. Sunlight hits the overminds, they awaken. That's what causes that. At that point, that's when the overminds start to fight back, and they start to cloud the sky again. Only when the overminds are destroyed do you actually get lovely clear skies. That's just a little bit too good still, isn't it? Now, to be fair, this one's about double the distance. Oh, Rocky. He tweeted me a picture. Cool. You have a lot of conveyors. 10,000 conveyors. That's a lot of conveyors. Hey, puss. And your frame rate's still 30. Not bad. That's a lot of mass storage crates. A lot of conveyors. Yeah, by the way, so I really like that. I really like that. That looks really good. That I'm not so happy with. I might randomize the initial up vector a whole bunch more. But it will only make it to more or less your CPH. And as I have indicated, oh my god, so many times when I was doing this last, right? So many times, right? A hive mind cannot hurt your base or your CPH. A hive mind has never been able to hurt your base CPH. They just can't do it. It's just not a thing. Now, what would have happened before is it would have spiraled around. So now it should give up. Let me just check that. 512. So how far are we? We are 331. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised, in fact. Well, I do add variance to the path. The problem is, Commander, that this is, how to describe it, this is an error system. And it starts at high error and drops to low error. If the error drops too low, I've seen this, it will just fire a single 1 meter tentacle and it will pierce the CPH. It's horrifying. If it's too low an error, it just fires up into the unknown. But remember, the goal of this particular feature, more than anything else, is to get the players to spot the hive minds. King of the Nerds, what do you mean, has the Cryo Inferno time been addressed? Damn it, guys, you all need to stop doing that. Stop making up a bug and then giving it a name like I know about it. What Cryo Inferno time? Someone on Discord claimed that he had a way of killing it without using magma, and I've just didn't reproduce. Other than that, you have to hit it for 15 minutes. But I'm surprised. I was expecting it to stop earlier. I'm actually just a bit surprised. This is the closest one, I have to say. But overminds certainly give you a reason to go exploring on the surface a bit more. And again, just to remind you all, I have just done something here that this would have taken 4 to 8 hours of high-level feeding. This is not something that will happen like this in the game, but it could. Also, King of the Nerds, you need to be aware that something like 200 people have ever killed cryoplasm, so of all of the bugs, that's way down my list. It's 900 seconds on it's 900 seconds. Sorry, can we just stop a minute? King of the Nerds, I just had to just check. How many seconds is in 15 minutes then, King of the Nerds? I'm curious how many seconds it's in 15 minutes. I'm just pausing. I'm just waiting. It's going to be brilliant. Anybody else feature answer, by the way? How many seconds is 19 minutes? What is 15 times 60, King of the Nerds? Just, if you were to give it a numerical value, it's 900. So, remind me what this bug is again? And Josh, it will, well, I'll show you. It kind of reattaches it. It's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Yeah, in King, I'm pretty sure it depends on difficulty. What I am going to do is I'm gonna go blow this one up, and then we're going to do another one. I'm going to reduce the upwards initial velocity to a much more variant number. No, you can no longer get hive minds close to your base. That's gone. That's no longer a thing. I think it's 128 meters. The chances are, as you play the game... Now, this is the funny thing. As far as you're concerned, as a player, hive minds appear on the surface sporadically. What actually happens is, as you find over time, as you progress and you... Oh, my lord. As you progress and you play the game, hive minds spawn and then immediately teleport to the surface. That's what actually happens, but you will never notice this. You will never see this. But this means that this is a world I've never bothered exploring. So what happens here is I'm only seeing a few, but as you explore, one may appear closer to the base. Okay? Now, I'm realistically, after, I don't know, a couple of hours, you'll have found all the ones you're going to find, really. So, I mean, there is technically a theoretical situation where you're mining one and one gets closer. But nobody ever told you in-game, ever, the concept of closest hive mind, okay? As far as you're concerned, as a player, not someone who happens to know how the code works, but as far as you're concerned, the one that's active is the one that looks active on the map. The rules behind that are never disclosed to the player. So I am well within my rights to change them. Now, I don't want to. I've done quite a lot of work to try and not do this. So this will only affect P18 worlds. It will not affect P17 worlds or earlier. Yes, the King. King, I'm pretty sure difficulty changes it. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. Oh, dear. Okay, well that's an interesting bug. Where are you? Wait, where are you? There's another one nearby. It's not you. That's you. There you go. Did the guy actually stop watch it, King of the Nerds? I'm not joking about that. I'm being serious. Like 500 people have killed Overmind, so to a degree, I don't really care. Like, unless they are seriously broken, I don't care. Okay, so we're going to turn on this hive mind. Josh, there are plenty of chances that it will spawn there, but the closest one is very unlikely to spawn there. I mean, if you kill everything else in range, sure, but that's not really on it. That's not really likely, is it? Okay, so this one is asleep. It's built its shell and its little thing, and let's kick her off. Off we go. Now, just a reminder, just in case anyone is about to panic, as I said, it don't grow anything like this in game. This is me accelerating time by dozens or hundreds of times. Possibly thousands. Okay, so that's a bit better. That's a little bit less. So here's the opposite. It came up and curved. So the curve towards it is different. It's going to be more like a wave, maybe. Yeah, to be honest, the amount of people completing the game is something that is a concern. Don't forget, originally the game stopped at charging the OET. That was supposed to be the ultimate challenge, and it no longer is. So, that's okay to change. That's a bit better, isn't it? Now, don't forget, it will still bias towards that, but what should happen, hopefully, is eventually it will hit a point, probably about here or so. Yeah, see, Tendrils is Tendrils is not really quite the right term. A tendril is 1 meter thick. Good night, King of the Nerds. Kohaka, in this patch, 18, 90, whatever it is, one thing we do have is the important CPH mutator. And in important CPH, when you die, all of the hive minds grow. Now, I've noticed this has slowed it down. There's more resin, but most of it's on the surface. Now, I think, actually, this one's probably a little bit ugly because I think this one is actually about the same height as the CPH. Yes, it's actually having to go downwards. When your CPH dies. This has definitely slowed it down. I think that's good. The first one isn't more fluid. The first one, the thing is, the first one looks great there, and it just looks less good as it goes further and further along. But also, as I mentioned before, we've got the problem of predictability. Like, this one might look crap, and the next one might look amazing. The one afterwards just doesn't work. Welcome to procedural generation. Very cool. So because the cloud system is procedural, I theoretically can do stuff like above the hive mind is always above the hive mind is always clouds. Anywhere there's resin, there's clouds above it. Now, see, Sean, doesn't work like that. As I said, this is basically an iterative error factor, and the factors get cancelled out and then blended from one to the other. I think that's pretty good, actually. And I can essentially morph between these two, which is kind of what I'm doing. But after a while, it doesn't end up very different. So what will happen is all of these here will end up pointing at the CPH. So if we were to leave this for quite a number more hours, this one wouldn't look any different. This one should look substantially different. What I want is a big, thick, rope-like coil of resin, as opposed to a javelin of resin. Okay, I don't really want something quite this thin, really. Cool, Huck. I mean, there are plenty of death modes to discourage dying. But you mean sort of a... I mean, it would be cool if, let's say, on... is it Iron Man difficulty? If on Iron Man difficulty... I'm going to make a note on that one. The thing is, nobody plays on these modes. They're cool ideas, but no one plays on them. Notes. Random hive mind eats all dropped items on Iron Man. Okay, I promise you, right? So few people play anything other than default. Play a game on Clumsy and holy shit do you play differently. My God. No more grappling up and down shafts. Yeah. See, what I would like to do, if I've got more time, which I don't, I'm already not really supposed to be doing this today. I'd like to generate a turbulence pattern. So instead of being straight, it's actually winding its way through space, and the turbulence decreases. That's kind of the solution. So any given point applies an offset that's relative in space. Gonna make a note on that one. If we could apply a what's it called? Coherent turbulence based on sin XYZ, that would give predictable and more interesting stab mechanics. However, I think the Overminds are overall much better than they were in the last patch. Much, much, much better. Actually, I think you could, Sean. Quark, I think you could. I mean, shutdown minus R. The user, it would pop up the user access control though. But if I was running as administrator, I'm pretty sure I could. Now that's the first time I've seen that happen. This is going to miss the CPH. I think in our hearts we all miss the CPH. So the plan is it's soon. Another hour tops. I'm going to make a build and I'm going to run up a server. And I'm going to play the first 4 or 5 hours of the game. Tomorrow I've got shit on. And then today, Wednesday, I'll be back. No, you do need admin. Cool. How can you need UAC? That's what UAC is. It goes, hello, I'd like to run an admin command. I mean, that's literally UAC and sudo might as well be the same thing. But yes, you could theoretically do it on Windows. You could theoretically do it on Linux too. I want to know what's going on. Like, that's what I don't want. I mean, to be fair, the CPH is very low in this seed. But yeah, today we'll finish off with a beginner playthrough of a build in rapid mode. And I'm going to go hell for leather. I'm going to play it and see how it goes, see how it balances, see if there's anything wrong or broken. And then Wednesday we'll start a network server build. And that one is going to be very room heavy. The goal will be room everything. Not literally, but like pretend that rooms are critical. We'll pretend that rooms give massive performance bonuses or they are critical. Oh, that's probably the end of it. That's probably as far as it's going to get. So, Sean, here's an interesting thing. Now, I'm sorry, I cannot remember the name of the virus. It wasn't the little green goblin virus, but it was a virus in the Atari ST. And what it would do is it would rapidly switch your computer as quickly as it could from 50 frames a second to 60 frames a second. So it would blibble your television from 50 to 60 as quickly as it could. And it would break your television. It would literally break it. Not all televisions. Some televisions would just be fine. And obviously, you'd probably go, what the fuck, and then turn the computer off quite quickly. But some televisions would break quite quickly when you did that to them. So yes, there have been viruses that destroy hardware in the past. There was one on the BBC Micro, though you had to do that manually. Maybe I should add a 10-second death penalty all the time. When it happens, I mine a Bitcoin for 10 seconds. Oh, man. Do you have any idea how many times I've tried to fix that blasted code? Right, I am going to go get me some coffee. Then we're going to check our to-do list, and then we're going to see about making and playing a build. So enjoy the resin and enjoy the clouds. I think those clouds look freaking awesome, by the way. Absolutely freaking just fabulous, and I am very happy with them. And I hope I can get them in. Remember, currently FortressCraft 2 is roughly scheduled for about a year, and in about a year's time, hopefully we'll have at least 11, maybe 12 series cards, and also everybody's current computer will be faster. Right, you watch the spinny view. I'm going to go get a coffee, and then we'll see where we go. So, unfortunately, I used to have a very nice speedrun program, and I had an overlay for the speedrun program, which would let me, it would let me put the icons in. So I actually supplied a pack for FortressCraft of speedrunning stuff, and I'm almost wondering if this is broken. Then people would hate me, Sean. Now, this is not behaviour I'm particularly happy with. See, what would have happened previously, it would have shot and overrun. Overall, though, ignore the hole. You'd have to be pretty dim not to spot that. However, I think this behaviour is overall better than the previous one. But this is where I'd like more detail. I mean, I'm dealing with something that's only 1 metre big. It's quite hard for me to get an accurate... reading isn't the right word. So, yeah, I will make a note. So, hold on, let's make a note. Let's make some notes. It's all about the fixes. Okay, so copper automated, tin automated, iron found, iron automated, now I genuinely don't know how long this will take these days. I would hope though that could all be done within 5 hours on rapid. Is that everything? Have I forgotten anything? Like, is there anything else that's critical, automative progression? Because that guy he was like, oh, I've just about got to tier 2 at 30 hours. And I'm like, what? Sean, I think the fact that you're as fragile as a newborn baby is perhaps enough. Tin plates? That's assembly line. What are you talking about? Jesus, Sultan. Okay, yeah, that's it. I would put you a bit ahead of the curve there. Yeah, so I'm like, it feels like I'm walking slowly, but of course I'm walking on resin. Of course I am. Coal power is kind of inherent in English. Coal power is kind of inherent in the lab. I mean, there's not really another way to do it, is there? Yeah, you see, I'm kind of liking this behaviour. Yeah, see, when you let it grow, it's now a single massive spike. But yeah, I'm not asking necessarily for the fastest time. I'm just saying, is there any other major milestones of progression I've missed? So I can actually say to people, here are my expectations of you as an experienced player. Obviously, if you've never played it before, it's unlikely you'll actually manage it at there. Oh man, I have to dig out my explosive. So this was a very high up hive mind. This was 22 meters. Holy shit, where is it? Oh, it's down there. Now, interestingly, I keep thinking to myself, oh, this will make hive minds easier. You can get at them easier, but so few people go around the back of a hive mind. It's really hard to attack a hive mind from the front and much easier to attack it from the back. Ah, man. There we go. Thank you. My frame rate's just... Actually, hold on, let me just check for 100% that is an instance object. Because that's not, but now is. Huh. Batches, 40,000. Clickety bonk. Batches, 20,000. Oh. Oh, I'm pleased. I mean, that didn't actually get me a lot of performance, but that's nice nonetheless. That's probably just simulating items killing me there. I don't ever expect anyone to feed a hive mind and then get 90,000 items out of it, by the way. This is when someone's going on about there's a bug with too many parts in one segment. I'm like, dude, have you seen how many parts the game supports in one segment? I mean, seriously. Maybe I could hire the actor from Mr. Talk to shout, "Loot explosion!" Okay, I do need to fix a couple of issues with the fog system though. Over this way somewhere? Unrelated, why don't I make Spiderbot appear on there? Unrelated, what the hell was that? Not that, I know that is. Just a weird shaped mountain. Purple cubes represent stuff that I've paged in. Almost always that represents tunnel nukers. Okay, now how high is this one? Okay, this one's minus 12. That's going to be a very different behaviour. So we'll see how that one goes, and then we'll, assuming it's not broken or bad, we will put it to bed. Central power hub. Closest hive. Non-public members. Super grow is true. Oh dear, Sean. Solution to that is a hopper with a vacuum turned on. Now, interestingly, this hive mind is going to get a frickin' pummeling from those. See right there, that is actually looking quite good. I'm not 100% happy with the clouds. I wish I could get more detail at them. Some like not subsurface scattering. What's the word? Fluffy high detail. I'm just kind of curious what happens when the next tunnel nuker comes along. Because part of the idea of tunnel nukers, you see, is that they spawn randomly around the overmine to clear out the overmine. The overmine does its best to find a nice spot, but if you go near it too quickly, it takes about an hour. It gently searches for an ideal spot over an hour. But if you go too near it, it panics and spawns immediately. That's going to go right into that overmine, isn't it? They can kill them. I've seen them kill them. It's great. You just hear a roar. It's free loot somewhere on the level. Oh, yeah, only that wasn't there. So, I forgot the name of them now. It'll come to me. Tunnel nukers, they don't do any detection. They it is still there, right? Yeah. They don't do any detection. They pre-calculate their route. Now, this is very interesting because in this particular case, this particular world, if this particular hive mind was growing, then it would actually suffer significantly from tunnel nukers. Now, I can actually cheat and put some tunnel nukers down, which I'm going to do. I'm just curious what happens. I think I know the answer, and I think it'll actually be at least slightly cool. Let's pop them in the corner so we can see. Let's pop them over there so we can see them. I need this machinery. It doesn't have an icon, and it's called Mob Spawner. That's the one. Oh, I didn't do room lights. I need to do room lights before I start my playthrough. But yeah, every so often I do need to do a speed playthrough, so I can say with I can say with certainty and reliability that the game is playable within blah 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 hours. Should we get friendly tunnel nukers? They're a bit pony, aren't they? See, tunnel nukers rely on time rather than high explosive. Medium explosive. Oh, that's only from Mythbusters I found out that the high and high explosive refers to the detonation speed. Not how big the explosion is, but just how quick the explosion is. Okay, so I'm going to pop the camera here. and then we're going to fix some bugs while that grows. So survival. Okay, so if hollow base dot base active equals false. Where was the other one? Survival fog manager? Survival player script? No, I'm sure it was. It was very much clouds. That was it. Active. If world script dot instance dot local player instance dot room ID not equal to -1 return to do disable if player is underground. See, now the thing is though, this is what gets me. I'm looking at that going, I'm not thinking Minecraft, I'm not thinking Factorio, I'm not thinking anything. I'm looking at that going, what's that game? Like, that doesn't look like anything else, does it? That is a completely unique visual look that yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a bit like No Man's Sky because it's got split complementary and triadic colour palettes. Sure. But I ain't really, is it? No one's going to see that going, whoa, that looks like Minecraft, No Man's Sky. I mean, I'd like to think that. I'd be very pleased. Okay, now I am going to need... Oh man, I haven't got a response back from my... Actually, that would have made quite a nice time lapse there, like having the sun go over, clouds moving, and the hive mind growing. Like, that's the sort of stuff that we need. It's that sort of thing. I think overall the game's good enough. I think the problem is I haven't got good marketing materials. So imagine seeing this, seeing an hour of this compressed into just 10 seconds, clouds whooshing past, the sun moving over and over and over and over, that sort of thing. But yeah, importantly, and this is the important thing, more than anything else, seeing that come over the horizon is A, not going to surprise anyone, and B, will scare the ever-living shit out of... Oh god, I couldn't even see all of it. Oh my god, it's bigger than I thought. That's what she said. Oh, fuck me. That's the clouds changing colour? Oh, wow, I was being more than a little bit, what's the word? Blasé, wasn't I? Wow. Okay, never park yourself a long way away from CPH and go, it's fine, because it's not fine. Now, are we happier with this one's behaviour? I think that's pretty good. Like, the main problem with this one is draw distance. Like, you can actually see, obviously, where the draw distance runs out. I don't like the jetpack. I never use the jetpack. I literally never use the jetpack. I don't like it at all. For a whole bunch of reasons. So, never use it. Like, not even Frozen Factory. Never. 100% never. Can I give me some nice... There we go. So I'm going to also have to spend like a day going through all of the pictures I've put on Discord. Okay, now what was it I said I would do for making the patch? I was like, oh, I forgot. No, it wasn't rooms, wasn't toggling that. Don't know. Oh man, that does look very cool. Very, very, very cool. I'm not happy with that bloody stuff though. So if you've been around a long time, you might have seen when I first started testing the hive minds, because they acted much more like this. But now they act like this, and it's awesome. Rather than acting like this and it being a bit broken. Now, I need to... Was that something that's back inside? Like, I have a fucking doorbell, right? I have a fucking doorbell. The fucking doorbell works. If you press the doorbell button, right, you can hear the doorbell through the whole house. But if you knock on the door, you can't do anything. No, Sean. Important CPH will act just like this. I'm just going to test one thing. I'm going to test what happens if you're on a P18 world. So the new growth mechanic will work on all worlds. So hive minds will grow differently on all builds. Don't think that's actually going to affect anybody though. Not unless you're doing something weird like farming your hive mind at a distance of 100 meters or something. Oh wow. That was easy. So I'm going to put a hive mind down right close to CPH. Oh man, those clouds look really good, don't they? Those clouds look really good. But yeah, I can feel the performance is a bit touchy, which is odd because I thought Ray Marching Clouds were a fixed cost system. Okay, so we're going to assume that a hive mind is here. We're going to assume this is a P18 world with a hive mind, and we are going to spawn a hive there. And we are going to go to hive entity. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, of course it will kill itself, won't it? Can't do that. Oh, haha. Okay, I'm going to have to switch back to a version 0 world. Oh, I dread to think what I'm doing to my poor world. So I need to switch back to a distance 0 world. Otherwise, the first thing that will happen is it will kill itself because it's too close. So I'm only 80 meters away. So this is not too far out. Can I pin this? Dock? Oh, okay, I did dock it, of course. I'm a bit confused why there doesn't seem any close to the player. Actually, that said, is that the actual active one? Wait, is this one even working? Oh, it's not. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Why didn't that work? Build from entity XYZ. That should have killed it. Interesting. It's not there. Like, this does not exist. This is now orphaned. Why is it orphaned? Oh, unless it's that block there. No. Like, it's just not there. It doesn't count as anything. It's just an orphaned graphic. And we're not supposed to get those. Obviously, we're not supposed to get those. Like, under any circumstance, no matter what I do, because I kill myself on delete. And on the delete function, which has an E in it, it dies silently. Based it on delete. We don't do anything else. That's annoying. Ugh, that's so bad. Well, there's not much I can do other than keep an eye on that for the future. See, that was alright. Oh, it would be sweet to have underground water. No, I've got water. I've got a water system. Again, I can put water in, but what lots of people do, and you've just done it, you've just gone, hey, I've played another game where it's central mechanic, the entire thing that a team of a dozen people worked on for a year is this. Why don't you just pop it to FortressCraft? So remember, we already cover a huge amount of thing. We've got state-of-the-art voxel rendering, we've got ray-marched clouds, we've got inverse kinematic walking spiders. We have so much unbelievable tech in this game and features and everything. Oh, come on, don't make me do more. Like, seriously, guys. That was the 126. I mean, it's like Creeper World. Creeper World is a big pile of shit with one brilliant core feature, which is the creep and the way, right? That's just one of the bad guys in FortressCraft. I'm not being mean to Creeper. I really like Creeper. That's not the point. My point is that Creeper World has one entire game revolving around a mechanic that just happens to be in FortressCraft as one part of the game. Arthur, you're in the way. Go away. I've got to wait for it to finish its first shell before it'll start to sprout. Yeah, no, it's not that, Sean. It's just that I quite often get people, oh, can you just add this in? Can you just add it so we can go to other planets? Can you add it so we can choose what biome to start in? I'm like, only by rebalancing the entire game 7 times if I had 6 more biomes. No. See, this is probably about the point where the player would go, uh-oh, like here. So that's probably about an hour, maybe 45 minutes, what we've just seen there. I'd love to have a game where they grew like that, and you had to play a very, very different game. No, I was thinking of it earlier. It would make quite a good bit of footage. So it's that one just behind us there growing. What if I want the new hive minds do grow like this on existing worlds? The difference is they do not respect the minimum distance. They do not have the new who is closest code. And they do not have the position on the surface code. But the growth pattern will be this. Yeah, unfortunately, Sean, I'd need to do a bit more than just implement that. Oh my god, look at the shadows. I need to do a bit more than just implement that, yeah? Because you've got no way of dealing with this, have you? Like, what are you going to do? Like, genuinely, what are you going to do? It's like an explosion in slow motion, though. But this one will probably go up, then back down again. I kind of wish I could make it even faster, but I don't think I actually can. Okay, let's leave that go for a moment. There are a couple more bits of code I wanted to write. Linked to player equals false. If Hurling Clouds unsatiated equals null. I don't know whether or not these will actually toggle. Actually, isn't there a... I'm pretty sure there is a way to find... Can't remember. I'm sure I found one that allows me to find disabled objects, and when I located it, I was just like, "Oh my god, how did I not know about that function?" It's gonna have to be quite a grapple. Ah, oh, damn it! Fuck that up. Close though. Come on, I need to get on top. Yeah, that's what she said. It's the wrong I'm at the wrong side, aren't I, really? I need to work my way around to the sides. Haven't hit the ground yet, but if I do, it's gonna hurt. Uh-oh. It hurt. I just want to do this because it looks like I can actually get over the clouds just by standing on hive mind. Yeah, see, so the clouds, they are really there. I'm now... I literally can't see shit. That's up, so that must be down. There we go. Ugh, see, that's horrible. It's because they Z right and the clipping. It's complex. It's complex. But then again, I could have made it up there if I just waited for a gap in the clouds rather than just ran off into the cloudness. Okay, so I think I've fixed all the things I wanted to fix. So we'll make a build in a moment, and we'll go for a speed run. Now, the speed run, quite often when I've done speed runs before, they last about an hour, and then what happens is I find something really wrong and I need to stop. I would have had a handful of coffee. Oh yeah, I forgot. When you teleport out, you're okay for a while. I'm pretty sure, by the way, that is actually going higher than that. I just can't see it. Or not. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's put that on. Oh, what is that button? Is it Windows key tab? No. Okay, so that's my speedrun tasks. Have I forgotten anything? Don't think so. Copper and tin automated. Assembly line created. Iron found, iron automated. Lithium found, lithium automated. Research automated. Cargo lift placed. T2 ores located. T2 ores automated. Now, I would say that's probably possible within 5 hours with a bit of luck and a lot of focus, which I don't have because I am streaming and I am talking to you people. But if that's everything, I think it is, we'll probably make a build. Making a build means I can't cheat, I have no ability to cheat, and I am resisting the urge to cheat, which is quite important. And also, I get a whole shit ton of performance back. But yeah, it surprises me how many people want to play the game through quicker. Like, is that a young thing? Is it because I'm old? I want to just savour it. I want to take my time, and I want to enjoy this and plan it and watch. I want to watch the sunrise and see the hive minds grow. I want to, do all those sort of things that are not about just barreling through progression as quickly as possible. But I do seem to be in a minority with that. Like, that does seem to be not just me, but most people. So most of the negative reviews, if you subtract all the reviews that aren't talking about me, which is fucking most of them, Factorio, volume is too loud, something about an alpha. Yeah. I haven't seen this in a while. Hold on. So if we do negative only, I hate looking at negative only reviews. We'll look at over the month. We'll sum up what there is. Too complicated. Minecraft Factorio No Man's Sky is better, and the dev. Fuck's sake. No Man's Sky has nothing in common. Thank you, Max PNS. Factorio. Some guy insists you can't use R. Yeah, what the fuck? This is what gets me, right? This is what pisses me off. You cannot use the square bracket key to rotate an item except if you have an Italian keyboard, then you have to rewire a dozen keys. Press R. Has he fixed his review? No, he's a cunt. Fuck you, you Italian shit. 300... Jesus Christ. Now that's the other... yeah, I probably just mildly criticised the game. No, you didn't. That's this guy. He attacked me directly. Anyway, skip that one. So this guy never bothered responding. So this guy got overrun by ore. Dev verbally assaults players. But oh look at the fucking circle jerk. JD Zartax in Verosa. This is a game about digging. Oh, this looks like this looks like quite a good review. But it takes too long. Now this is interesting because I would say taking a long time and satisfying are the same, like different. After 30 hours, oh god. Wait, did he not have enough research points? You need to go 100 blocks. It was ugly and chaotic. Finding resources, and everything that we can to give it. This sounds great. You unlock technology in the first hour you won't be able to use for several hours later. Like what? At least he's got a good point, but yeah, Steve Mann is quite correct. 5 to 10 hours if you don't get distracted. If you follow the mission, I will be following the missions. 1,000 hours, not recommended. Pretty much, right? If you sum up all of these that aren't attacks on me, this guy who doesn't know how... Yeah. Is this a review or a support request? Thank you, The Mood. Thank you. See, that's what I want to see more of. I love seeing that one. Like, this is not a review. Off topic. It's a support request. Yes. But I can sum up all of these reviews as basically nearly all of them, right? I want it to be more like Factorio. The review section is not a place for support requests. How could I put this? If you have encountered bugs, then that sounds like a very unique system problem. That's something. Now people are telling me I should be tagged as early access. If I see any system problem to you, and not something that affects 99.99% of players. Again, the place for this is the forum, not the review section. Turn down thingy. Yeah, so I say micromanagement simulator. Oh god, it's not Factorio. I mean, that's not a bad review. This guy's at least being fair. I'm quite happy with that. Overall, he likes the idea, but he doesn't like it. That's fine. Happy with that. But most of these reviews are simply, I've played Factorio. Factorio is much simpler. Why can't it be like Factorio? I can understand Factorio. Genuinely. Now, Factorio, don't get wrong. Oh, fuck. I looks like I need to make another build because I completely forgot to save my files. Nothing wrong with Factorio. Nothing wrong with simple games. Pac-Man, Pong. Like, simple games are not inherently bad. Saying a game is simple is not an insult. Factorio, vanilla Factorio, is significantly more simple than FortressCraft. massively so. I mean, you've got, again, I haven't played it, but you've got biters, and that's it. There's only one type of mob. You've got no real world exploration. I think you've got nuclear power now, but I've not played it. So, from my point of view, someone who hasn't played Factorio in quite a long time, you have Steam for about 4 hours, and then solar, and then you've completed the game. I don't know what's the point in nuclear unless unless it's been massively rebalanced, and correct me if I'm wrong, in Factorio you've completed it before you've hit nuclear. Like, you've got to the end of the game. It's like FortressCraft minecarts. They're pretty cool, but really you get them when you've already completed the game. Because FortressCraft and Factorio are very similar on the face of it. It's just that FortressCraft is... How can I put this? FortressCraft is Borderlands, whereas Factorio is Call of Duty. They're the same game. You run around, you kill, you shoot things, you level up, you progress, but they're actually also obviously completely the same game at the same time. But as I said, having played Factorio before, you put it on easiest, you can complete it. I think the record is 45 minutes, but for me, I can complete it in about 4 hours. And people are used to that level of simplicity. It's very, very simple. I mean, one of those reviews, the guy was actually complaining he had to go and dig down for iron. And so many people complain about exploring on the surface, to the point where I wonder if iron and lithium should be on the surface, just 200 meters away. The game doesn't have enough exploring. Does it? Yeah, well, it does, but in the wrong direction. So it does have exploring, then. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce the stream, because that will help me. So we are going to... we're not going to run there, we're going to run directly... Oh my god, Rock of Ages. Oh, fuck me, that was a shit game. I wanted to like it, and I didn't. Yeah, well, people are stupid. So we're going to stop and start the game... The thing now. We're going to run it on good, because that is the recommended setting. So I'm going to stop the stream and start it again, and we're going to speed run. So assistance is happy. I'm happy for assistance. Speed or run. Okay, rapid play. So we're on the default settings. Okay, so default settings. Is it the font wrong again? I'm pretty sure the font's wrong in the main menu. Not quite. So I'm going to stop the stream. So I'll be back in a moment, and then we're going to give it a go. And I'm going to play it. Mostly, I'm going to play it on the missions. All right. So if the missions say do X, I will do X. I'm going to pretend to a degree I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to pop to the loo, get a drink, so I don't have to leave. And then we will begin. So orbital charge par time is 30 hours. This is the thing, right? You start the game, it says 30 fucking hours. You can make it even quicker. 23 hours. Oops. Easy mob 21 hours. But I really have very little time, as a rule of thumb, for people who twiddle, who don't like settings. But I think perhaps we should even consider even faster settings. You'll notice it says you'll suffer from extreme temperature drops, and people still complain you die at night. Back in a mo!
I need to work out how to rename my video. I can do that. Click that one. Edit video. Right. Finish my apple. Then I'm going to give it a go. While we're doing this, by the way, I'm also going to try and make note of things that didn't work so well. So things like like if I screw up and I go, oh, I'm waiting a lot for iron. Oh, it's too much iron. So we may make some balance notes at the same time. So I'm going to drop the stream and bring it back up again with a new title. Ooh. And then we'll give it a